Hey everybody, it's Rory from A&S Gear, and we're going to look at a harness today. This is from HK. This is the HSTL base harness. So this is more of a, I guess call it a mid-range price point. You know, it's not as expensive as some of their other harnesses or other harnesses out there. So it's more, I guess, kind of going towards a wider audience as far as prices go. So it's a great harness. It has all the features that you would find in a comparable harness, but at a cheaper price. So let's go ahead and look at it. I've got the 4 and the 3 here. So this is a 4 plus 5. So 4 main pod sections, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in outside sections, or the elastic sections. And then we've got a 3 plus 4 here. So 9 and 7 would be your total pod counts on these. So we'll look at the pods, the ejection areas first. Pretty basic strapping on there. You got Velcro on both sides. You do have an elastic top, and the elastic piece is nice and wide. Some harnesses will do like a crisscross of elastic so that the pod doesn't slip out. They just went with a nice wide patch here so that you don't get this kind of thing accidentally right there. So it does stay right over the top. I just pull it back down and it's going to stay right in the middle there. So plus it gives us plenty of room to roll that pod up and out of there. Now with any pod that does have an ejection system like this one does, you want to make sure that you preload that pod in there. So you're not just going to slide this in to where it hits the end of the elastic and then try to make it fit over the top like that. It's not the way it's meant to work. You definitely want to compress the pod down and then fold it over there. You want this elastic to be stretched out so that when you undo this, the pod sticks back out. And all these other pods will be sitting up higher because you've preloaded them, so they're not going to be in the way when you try to grab the one that you're getting out and moving it out of the way. So make sure you're always preloading your pods right there. Now, I do have over here a lock lid, so I'll put one of those in there. I should have brought up one of the new HK pods too. But that fits in there just fine. There's no issues with size for the lock lids. And you know, lock lids being one of the wider pods that's out there. So if a lock lid fits, anything else is going to fit as well. So that goes in easy. So we've got our pod there. So those are our main section pods. We'll fold these up and get them out of the way. Now, in our elastic sections, the elastic does have a little bit of Velcro on it, so you can tuck it around and attach it in there so it stays kind of out of the way and doesn't flop around if you're not using those sections. I don't think that really matters too much though. I guess for a storage standpoint, or maybe a getting shot standpoint, if you had these flapping around and you weren't using them, you might be able to get shot in it and it might break. But if it doesn't stick on there, it's not a big deal. So these will fit pods, and you're gonna put these in depending on how you stack your pods. You know, I put mine upside down. Everybody puts them upside down, but I have seen people turn this elastic section, they turn it over because there's nothing to cover the bottom. You've got this strap to cover the bottom of your, or the top of your pod, but it's upside down. But you don't get that with these elastic pieces. And these elastics don't have that little loops that you see on some of them that stick off that you can loop around the thumb release here to help keep it closed. So these don't have it. I personally still run mine upside down. I just remember to grab these ones first and go from there. I know a lot of people that run them the other way around so that they don't pop open when you slide or dive or hit the ground. So I mean, that's always a possibility when you have your pods in the outside pockets. It's just kind of something you got to be careful of when you're diving or sliding, I guess. Don't lean back too far so that your pod scrapes across the ground and gets ripped open. All right, let's move on to the harness. So we've got nice thin harness straps on here. I like that. When they start to get super thick, then when you bend and you crunch your waist or midsection, it can pinch and feel a little weird. So the thinner the strap, the better it's going to feel around you. But if you go too thin, then it's just as bad. Your stomach kind of rolls over the top of it and it's just uncomfortable as well. So it's a good size, not too big, not too small as far as straps go. Oh, plenty of Velcro, and both of these are on an elastic. so we can easily wrap these around. The way I set up my pack, I don't do it crazy tight with the first set. I wrap these two around my body just so that it's slightly tight and comfortable. I don't stretch them out and wrap them around me. I just make them comfortable around my body. And then the outside two, these ones I really give a good stretch. Go around, and make it nice and tight enough to be comfortable, but not loose enough to be flopping all over the place. And then the backing here, we've got a nice wide backing, and it's padded. It's not over padded. It's not really hard padding either. It's soft padding, looking at maybe 1/2 inch of padding or so. It's got some channeling in it. These are really just stitch patterns, I think, or stitch lines, possibly, from where the other stuff was attached to it. Actually, no, it doesn't. It does feel like channeling on there. So this will help with some air transfer, but it's not overly thick. It's gonna give you some padding. It's not rubberized on there, so it's not going to help with sticking to your back or sliding around on your back. It's just padding for your back to make it a little bit more comfortable. I like the setup on these. I like the price point. I mean, it's a smart idea to go for a price point that makes it a little bit more reasonable to all players out there, and you still get the size that you're looking for, 7 or 9. You can pare it down. You could go with only 2 or 3 pods in these, or 3 or 4 in these, and still have a comfortable pack that can expand into bigger packs. So definitely give it a look-see. I like the tabs. I like the strapping. I like everything about it, and I like the price point too. So check it out on the website. These are the HSTL base harnesses in the 3+4, so the 7, or the 4+5, so the 9. It's available through the website. Order yours now through ansgear.com.